Welcome to Plan B with Anthony Kerori. This is a show where we come up with extraordinary solutions to major problems. We think out of the box. In fact, here we threw the box, now we think freely. If you are in government, private sector, or any other organization, and you're in a quagmire, you're in a predicament that requires extraordinary solutions, please get in touch through the email down below. This is the first episode of season 2. Actually, we're supposed to premiere in 2024, but unfortunately, due to some grave events, we had to come on air a bit early. What are these grave events? Unfortunately, in Juja, people are being eaten by hyenas. KWS has done its level best, but it appears the hyenas are one step ahead. I recently spoke to some KWS officers, and they told me that a plan B is required. And that's why we are here, to come up with a solution to this menace. Let me give you a background to this whole thing. A few years ago, I was coming from Juja farm. It was around 10:30, it came around 11 p.m. Nilikuwa kwa X-Trail, nimelalisha kiti. As we were driving, I saw a hyena ikikimbia along the road. Lakini, tukipita, nikakakiti straight, kuiangalia, I was shocked. Niliona ile kitu was above. Nilikuwa naangalia juu, yani it's higher than an X-Trail. I used to think, a hyena inakuanga height ya umbwa. Ati kwa exam, ungeuliza what's the height of a hyena, ungeandika below sea level and still be correct. But now this one was like a big thing. Alafu, zaidi ya hiyo, it was so huge that it looks as if this hyena goes to the gym and takes massive overloads of steroids. It was a big thing. A few months later, kuna moja ilikuwa imegongwa Mangu High School. Hapo nje Mangu High School. Kwenda kuiangalia, nilishtuka. Its neck bigger than my waist. It was a giant of an animal. Yani ni kama tu GMO tu imetengenezwa na ma-GMO ikakuwa a GMO experiment that went wrong. Sasa, these hyenas zimeweza kula watu huku Juja. Towards the end of November this year, 2023, they ate a 10-year-old boy. On 2nd of December, less than 2 weeks later, 2nd December 2023, kuna mama alikuwa anaenda kazini asubuhi to pick the company bus between Nyashava and Darugo. They killed her. When I spoke to the KWS people, they told me that they've been setting out cages with goat meat. They've been setting traps with goat meat, those are cages, so that the animal can go in, it gets trapped, and they put a lot of them in the quarries in the areas where they think these hyenas are. Lakini, hazikuli hiyo nyama. Instead, and what was shocking, after setting a number of traps in very many areas, hizo hyenas zilipita, zikaenda instead and killed a human being. When the officers went to check the traps, they could see footprints za hyenas. Kwa hivyo zilikuja zikapita cage na zikaenda mbali kutafuta mtu. So what are the KWS officers thinking? They are thinking that maybe one or two people, maybe a few people were killed, someone or a number of people were killed, wakatupwa huko in those abandoned quarries. Hyenas zikakuja zikawakula. Zika realize nyama yetu ni poa kuliko any other meat. So wakati walimaliza kukula, zikasikia njaa, na kuna mwili zingine zililetwa, zikasema, let's go hunting. What are they hunting? Us. So, the traditional ways are not working. We need to come up with a plan B. I'll come up with 2 permanent solutions and 1 temporary solution. The temporary solution has to run concurrently with any of these 2. The first solution is this. Either bury or flush them out. What do I mean by that? Hizi hyenas sana zinajificha kwa maquares and in caves. So, government should come with hizi matinga kubwa, bulldozers zinaitwa D8, to go and flatten those quarries. In these quarries, there are big rocks, and kuna caves huko ndani. Tunasema kuna hizo hyenas zinajificha. So, if a D8 ikienda bulldozer, it's very big, and flattens it out, itamaanisha these hyenas will either be buried or they'll be forced to come out. Of course, D8 itatumwa na dereva peke yake. Itakuwa accompanied by armed officers. Ndio hyenas ikitoka, they are shot. Zuiliwe hapo hapo. Where there are caves, piezo caves zifunikwe. They be buried, yani zikuwe sealed completely. Bila kuna kinaweza kutoka huko ndani. That will force the hyenas either to try to come out or get buried. And then, because there are a lot of bushes in the abandoned quarries, government can engage raia wa Juja sasa. Wakuje wa clear all the bushes in that area. Ndio mtu kama kwa barabara, you can be able to see as far as the eye can see. And it's place equal level. So that way, there'll be no place to hide. Then, that's the first temporary solution. These quarries, ideally, should be used for industry purposes. Especially considering now that we're talking about climate change. Hizi quarries tutumike nini? Best way balazika idle, gava yangalie vile, because it's trying to industrialize. Remember the 20 by 30 agenda? Why can industries be set up in these quarries? History ya hyenas kujificha huko will be a forgotten thing. And in the future, we'll not have to come back to it. That's the first solution. The second solution is a solution, ningekuwa MP wa huku hivi, ningekuwa MP wa Juja, I would have implemented quickly. Hii ni to get rid of these hyenas in a Hollywood style. Yeah? Yani vile CNN, BBC and all the major news wangekuja kuangalia vile tumefanya. What do I mean by that? Using modern technology and giving the hyenas what they want. Let me explain. Drones can carry up to over 200 kilos. And drones can be fitted with infrared sensors, night vision cameras, and heavy ammunition. So vile ningefanya, ningeenda nitafute goat meat, alafu niende kwa mahospitali or talk to KWS for them to go and get blood, human blood from the hospitals. Ile damu imeharibika hizi kutumika. Soak this goat meat in the human blood. Tafuta shati ziko na jasho, uzivalishe hivyo, utakuform kama kamane queen kamtu. And then have the drones, ikikapo hivyo 6:30, 7 p.m. izi drop katikati ya kware. Kadhaa zizi drop. Then ziende juu zigoje. Haina zikikuja, zitaonekana na infrared sensors na hizo night vision cameras. Drone inakuja chini, pap, inapiga tu 2 ama 3 risasi. I hear if a hyena bleeds, inaweza kujikula ama ingine itajaribu kuikula. Ingekuja kuiuma pia itaiuma. What happens? Zitakulana. If that doesn't work, simple. Angusha kabomu kadogo. Pap! History imeisha. One night tumemaliza hiyo story yote. Then after that, nianze kutafuta industries. Or which other ways can we use these quarries? Hata kama ni playgrounds or whatever. However, as all this is happening, people need to commute, move to and fro. The lady who was killed on 2nd December 2023, alikuwa ametoka home, akienda kuchukua company bus in Darugo. That distance is about less than 3 kilometers kutoka Nyashava to Darugo. Lakini hapa katikati, these 2-3 kilometers, they are the abandoned quarries. Na kuna mahina zinajificha. So, the best thing government can do, hii distance ya 3 kilometers. Kwa nini basi ilisimama Darugo Thika super highway, ikakataa kuingia a distance of 2 or 3 kilometers? Because barabara ni mbaya sana. So, government ituweke nini? Lami, ya 2 or 3 kilometers. Ndio basi ziweze kuingia into Nyashava town. Watu wacha kutembea hiyo distance. Mimi na boda zikiharibika kwa hiyo barabara zikisukumwa. Ebu imagine, if a boda was carrying 2 or 3 people, ifike pale hizo hyenas zilikuwa on 2nd December, iharibikia hapo hivyo. Yani, I shudder to think what would have happened. Hizo hyenas zingefurahi sana. So please, that short distance, ikiwa tarmac, itasaidia tu boda na itafanya company buses zije kusimama mbali, that 2 or 3 kilometers zinaingia ndani. But at the same time, people need to move up and down. Na watu watachelewa, tutake tusitake. So what happens? This can be done immediately. The government, through KWS, to deploy armed officers. Soldiers wako armed. Na si ati moja ama wawili. Hapana, weka kama 50 ama so moja. Wako armed to the teeth na Land Rover zao. Na mwapate mpaka sensors. Ndio ile kitu ikikuja wanajua in advance. Ikikuja papap, wanaimaliza. Ndio watu weze kucommute to and fro bila wasiwasi. Now, kabla tumalize, I know animal lovers wanaweza kusema, why am I advocating for the killing of these animals? Why not capture them, and relocate them to somewhere else. That can happen, but I'm against that. Kwa nini? These things already zishakuwa man eaters. Zishajua vile sisi tunaonja. Zimejua kutukula. So tukizitoa Juja tuzipeleke pale pengine. Na alafu hyenas vile si watu vile tunaongea, pia hyenas ziko na language yao. Hizi hyenas zimetoka Juja, zinakwambia zile hyenas zingine, hii nyama tunakula si poa. Mnaona wale wasee pale hivyo, nyama yao ni poa sana. Hyena moja inaweza kusema, ama jamaa, they are very ugly na haunuka sana. Mimi anti hauoga. Unavile wako ugly mpaka wanavanga nguo. How si smart cases, even the hyenas zitakuwa zinasema. Lakini zao convinced, hebu tujaribu moja ama wawili. So we can get a bigger problem later on. So my idea would be for total elimination. But that can be an idea that can be discussed later. Because they're man eaters, do not relocate them. Get rid of them. I wish the first episode of season 2 would have started on a better note. Lakini it is what it is. There's a very grave situation in Juja. KWS has tried the best that it can. Some senior government officers from the national government have asked me what the plan be. Here, I've come up with 2 permanent solutions and 1 temporary solution that can run concurrently with any of the other 2. I hope they'll be implemented as soon as possible so that this thing of people being eaten in Juja comes to an end with immediate effect. I hope next time that we meet, we'll be discussing of better topics and be having happier times. Thank you so much for tuning in, and God bless you.